Hello everyone, this is Miss Deb and today I am going to demonstrate how to make 3D letters with 1 point perspective. Before you start, you have to begin with any kind of paper that is, I've just taken just regular drawing paper. So any kind of paper is good. You will need a ruler, a pencil, an eraser, and for later on, a Sharpie just to make it permanent. Sharpie is not required, but if you have one, that is fine. First, draw a baseline. So I'm going to find a place where it will be baseline for the word that I'm going to do. So here is the baseline. Do it lightly because you might have to erase it later. And then whatever, I will do my name. Whatever letter you want to do, you can first draw it out with like a skinny line. Oh, first I should also do the top line. I want to figure out how big the letter is going to be. Yeah, this height is good. Very lightly again. And then I'm going to first say, okay, I'm going to have these letters this big. I'm doing very lightly because this is not my final line. I'm going to do that later. First, they have to be like bubble letters first. So I got my name over here like that, and then I'm going to, okay, if you think, see this line is a way too slanted than this one, I might change that a little bit over here, so I'll have a more centered alphabet. And I'm going to erase the lines that I don't want. Now I'm going to make them into bubble letters because I figured out, okay, this is how big my letters are going to be. So I'm going to have parallel lines to the other ones, but I'm not going to touch that letter, the original lines. You see I'm keeping an equal gap between the original line that I had done. So you'll be able to see it better when I outline them with markers. So I'm not letting it touch it. So I'm just going to, you can also use a ruler. Why not? So I can draw a straight line over here. That looks better. If you have a ruler handy, use it. So that's my I. I got done with M. I'm going to erase the letter inside lines now so I can see more clearly how my bubble letters look. Now that I'm done with the bubble letters, they could be rounded corners, they could be, having corners, it's up to you. So I will outline them with Sharpie before I show you how to do the 1 point perspective 3D. So I'm going to first outline. So this will help you if you do that. You can do it freehand. You can do it with rulers. It's up to you. Also, if you do not have Sharpie, you can just leave it and make the lines darker with a regular pencil. You see the top of the letters and the bottom of the letters are lined up. They are not sticking up or down from the baseline or the top line. After I finish outlining these letters, I am going to erase all the pencil marks because I don't need them anymore. Vanishing point. Just a dot, like where the 6 inches mark is. So that's a very important mark, because that's where all the lines are going to merge. After you made that point, line up that point with all the tops, all of the corners. So I'm going to the outer corner of the top of the U, then this one, only the points that are touching the top line. That's all you need to do. See, they're all vanishing over there. So we are not going to Sharpie this for now because we are going to erase some of those lines. So this is called a vanishing point and 1 point perspective. And okay, now this one is, we'll be able to see the top part of the H. So we have to get that corner. Some letters you might have to do that depending on, like an A or an H. And then this part. Also, sometimes you have to see, like this corner on the H, it might show up on the other side. So we might have to do this corner over here, lined up with that. And for the U, the base of the U also lined up with the, so that will show up as the bottom part. You will be able to see that side of the U. And I'm going to finish up doing the rest. Oh, this one perfectly lines up. Okay, now over here, this part, I'll be doing the bases of these letters a little bit later. Let me finish the top part. Now I have to do the bottom corners. So let's see the M. You will be able to see this one. You might be able to see this part a little bit, this bottom part. And over here, bottom of the I over here. The T, it's a tricky one. So if I line up this point and the top, you cannot see, it is behind the T. So if you, whatever you cannot see, you do not have to do. This also kind of looks, oh, this is slightly, it goes over here. Okay, so can you see? It's a little bit over here that's sticking out. Oh, you should not be able to see it over here because that will be the top part of the T. That was a mistake. Oh, I forgot to do the H over here. Yep, it's also pretty skinny. Okay. Now, they cannot go, if you want to leave the vanishing point all the way, letters going all the way over there, that's fine. But I would like you to show you another way of doing how, what if the letter ends in the midway? This is imaginary, okay? So I'm going to make the one line that's parallel to the letters, and see, do you see that? That's also another guideline, and I'm going to erase anything above that. Anything above that I'm going to erase because that's part, it will still be a vanishing point, but you have to, this is a necessary step that you can do, but you do not have to keep it in your final artwork. So the letters will look like, and then you have to, whatever letter shows up, you have to draw a parallel line to that, so that this line over here, so it's ending up, so it's looking like a block. And the I is straight, so this will be parallel to I over here. The T, we cannot see any of it. H will be a little bit over here. Oh, now this part should come down somewhere over here, like a bottom over here, and that's, and there should be a straight line for the other H. So now let's see how, oh no, I did it in the wrong spot over here. So I will erase that part. In a moment I will outline these also in Sharpie, so you'll have a better idea how they look. So I've done this one at the bottom. This side is straight perpendicular, so I'll put that one over here. So same here, I will put a perpendicular line over here. So now let me outline the lines that I want to keep, and it will show you how they end up looking like 3D letters with 1 point perspective. Remember, these letters should be always parallel to the whatever letter you're drawing it down below. It should be parallel to that side. I'm going to shade with a regular pencil. You can use any colored pencils. So what I'm going to show you is the letters on the left side, you're going to shade the sides of the letters on this way, and the letters on the right hand side, you're going to shade the right hand side of the letters. So this is the right hand side of the letters. So I'm going to see how I'm holding the pencil at an angle. So I'm going to shade the sides of the letters, and I'm going to shade so the more pressure you put on the pencil, the darker you'll get, and you can fade it out by decreasing the pressure on the pencil, so it will look shaded. You can also, after you finish shading with pencil, you can also use a tissue paper to smudge or smoothen the pencil marks. That's totally up to you. That's another choice you can do. Since this is the bottom part, can you see, because U is curved, how I am curving the shading lines over here? So I'm going to put this part really dark, and I'm going to fade it out as I go to the top part of the letter. So I'm making the pressure lighter, and I'm putting more pressure on the pencils down here. This is just a regular pencil. It's up to you. You can use colored pencils, you can use drawing pencils, and you can experiment to see how they end up looking. I'm going to leave the front of the letters empty, just white. This is a dark part, and I'm going to fade out. This is underneath the H, the shelf of the H, so it's going to be pretty dark. And bottom part of all sides of the letters of the bottom part of the letters are going to be pretty dark, and as it comes up, it's going to get lighter. And that you're going to manipulate the pressure on your pencil to achieve. You see, keep the direction only one direction and don't change the directions. At the bottom part of all the letters are going to be really dark. See, it's the bottom part, and the top part is going to be lighter. As the letters recede in the back, may put less pressure on the pencils, which will be less dark. So my hand smudged all the shading. See how dark my fingers became. So I'm erasing all the extra smudges. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to protect my shading by putting a piece of paper and start continuing to shade the rest of the letters. This way I will protect what I've already done and it will not get spoiled. Since the underneath of the M is under the shadows of the shape of the M, make anything like that, any of those letters, if you think that it is going to be covered by the shape of the letter, make it really, really dark. And also if you want, you can smudge it with the smoothen out the pencil marks. I use my finger. You can use a tissue paper too. And there you go. That's how a 3D letters with 1-point perspective looks. I hope you enjoy doing your own names or any other word that you choose to do so. Be creative and enjoy yourself.